Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Maria from Under the Night Moon, and I'm coming on today to do a video of my most recent journal that I've completed for my Etsy shop. This book will be listed this evening in my Etsy shop, and I will post a link below. This book measures 5 by 7 by 6.5. It's composed of chipboard and modern wallpaper, and then I've sewn around and reinforced. It has 3 signatures sewn in. The spine is 2.5 inches, and I have incorporated a lot of charms, vintage laces, papers, trims, flocked leaves, vintage seam binding for the closure, which ties like so. I've got some iridescent cabochons, and I'll go ahead and start with the cover. So I've used a beautiful reprint from my Etsy shop, or not, it's not mine, it's from Antique Papery, but I've added glossy accent to it and made it like a enamel emblem sort of. And then I added, while the glossy accents was wet, I added this gorgeous petite rhinestone trim as a border. And then I've added this gorgeous vintage jewelry piece. I'm not sure if I have a new phone, so I'm not sure if the camera is going to pick up the detail of these jewelry pieces, but really well made and just beautiful. And then of course I've got some more modern jewelry pieces here, some beautiful paper roses, some velvet, more vintage trim, some lace down here, a pretty little golden tassel for the cover. All right. And then as we open, this video might be a little long as we do have quite a bit to go over on the inside. And also too quickly, I did go back to work at my day job, which I am I'm like a dietitian slash cook for the university here in Ave Maria. So I don't have a lot of time for my studio, but I will post the things as I make them. So this book is a little late in getting out to you all, but it's just because I'm working full-time again. So anyway, okay, so inside on the cover, I've got some beautiful feminine reprints, a little tuck spot here with some vintage appliques and handmade roses by me, some washi tape here, and then also the wallpapers on the inside as well, some pretty accent pieces. And then I have a glassine bag at the beginning here. You can store important things that you need to get to quickly. And throughout this whole book, I've added and incorporated a lot of paper tags and places for you to journal. Here's a tiny little baby tag, some fun trims, and like my books in the past, you know, if I wanted to add it to this book, I did. I didn't hold back really anything, so I just had fun. You can see the glassine bag has been embossed. And then I have this jacket layer here that's also been embossed. I don't know if you can see the beautiful Swiss dot, but that's one of my favorite things here. I've done a collage to start you off. Setting the mood of this book is obviously very feminine and fun. And then just beautiful reprints, places to journal, add pictures, and that sort of thing here. This is a little pocket, some tags. So I have a new phone set up. Hopefully the camera is going to pick up the beauty of the book. I have this really fun ribbon in my shop, in my studio. It's these golden frames with roses. And then I fussy cut this little boot and actually gave it buttons. You can feel, I used, I don't know, these pearl drops to make it, they're raised. So that's just like a fun little detail there. And then speaking of fun details, this is actually a reprint from Genevieve Designs. This is from her Etsy shop. I absolutely love this vintage envelope. And then I went ahead and stamped on there, and I added this reprint of a stamp. I just think it looks so real. I just love that. And of course, this is a vintage envelope that she scanned, and I just think it's really cool. And I added this wax seal. This will get gold leaf on there to finish, and then it's attached to vintage watercolor paper. And I have a book of this that I retrieved or rescued, and you can do watercolor on here. It's very thick, it's very sturdy. If you have the watercolor color pencils, that would be really nice on here because you can control it. You could even do acrylic paint on this paper. It's very sturdy, and so I've incorporated that in this book in case you're inspired to paint and have some fun. I have lots of pages that have just places for you to do a pretty layout. You know, you can add a picture here, journal about it on these cards here. Lots of papers in this book here. Fussy cut roses, beautiful trims. Here's some more tags made from different papers. Trims. Some of the tags have been decorated. This one's pretty long. You could do a nice little story there. And then I've just incorporated lots of my trims and things that I have to work with in my studio. And then this here is just a throwback to the days going by. Beautiful hat pin, some ladies, this really pretty rhinestone cameo. And again, you can add a picture here. You can journal on here in different places. I've also included over here a little belly band. And then this is actually a full page pocket where you can add pictures and letters and memorabilia if you're perhaps putting this book together for a granddaughter or a daughter-in-law. This would be just beautiful to hand down to someone. Here, this is just a secret little flip. You can do some secretive journaling here, or add a picture, journal about it, and it's just a quiet little tuck spot there. This side, I've added this pocket. This paper is a handmade paper underneath, and so it's real texture. It's very sturdy. It was a gift bag that I repurposed, so I like to use things in different ways. And then it's a pocket, and I've stenciled the same stencil from the cover on this pocket here just to add some sparkle and texture. And then turning the page is the center of the first signature. And then I've added this pretty trim card here. Oops, sorry, I'm not in focus. And then just some more papers, some pretty floral journaling cards. This is actually a pocket here and here. And then I've got this pretty little key charm and locket charm. And then just more of those trims I love. I've kept most of these blank so that you can write in as you're recording and journaling as you go. Just more pretty tuck spots. This beautiful satin bow here. It's just really pretty, feminine. And so this is the other side of that paper. You can see it's just beautiful. It has live, laugh, love, and then some pretty things to add pictures and journal on there. This is vintage paper that I rescued. I gave it a pretty little border punch just to add some texture, and that's a pocket on the other side holding some little tags and things. And then I had some fun and used this gorgeous piece of netting to cover. So it's like a little veil. I've attached a mother of pearl button with some gold thread, and that's to help keep it down. It's sort of like a little weight. So that's that, and then some gorgeous ribbons and trims from my studio. Here's some more paper to journal on, super fun polka dots. You've got book pages, vintage reprints and labels, and just some fun ribbons and things from my studio. This flower I've had for ages. I'm happy to find a home for it. And then as you turn the page, it turns into another full-size pocket. And I've gone ahead and started you with some pretty papers inside there. And then as you turn, it's got another pocket on the other side with some more beautiful papers and things there. And this is like a little stop, you know, a little stationary stop where you need to take some notes, maybe a shopping list, a birthday list. This is, this is a little pocket here. And then the page is a pocket. So I've got a lot of little tuck spots in this book for you to have fun with, adding your pictures, and maybe you have a scrap of a favorite dress that you want to include. This book would be a wonderful place to just store all of the little memorabilia that you have and you don't want to discard because it has meaning to you. Here's another little beautiful tuck spot where you can journal, and then vintage wallpaper that you can journal on the back. And then this has charms. It has a rose and a beautiful little hand with a heart in it. I don't know if you can see the charms up close. I think my chubby little hand is in the way. Oops, yeah. So that's attached to the bottom of this pretty little Victorian fan. And then another beautiful place to do a photo, or not a photo, a layout. And then this side has more papers. This is this fun little stitched envelope that I put together, just using some beautiful papers, more beautiful prints. And this is the other side actually of the watercolor paper. So you have two more sides to have fun with your painting, or felt tip pen would work on here, or maybe you want to use both, do like a little mixed media. You could felt tip pen and then go in with your watercolor markers and color. You could do real watercoloring on here. And then if you have any of those paper palettes, you could store one in this book, and then you've got your paints at the ready. That could be fun to do if you're inspired. Maybe you want to just try painting any of the florals that are in this book. That would be fun. So you've got another piece of that. And this sketchbook, as well as several sketchbooks, I rescued. So I will be incorporating more of these papers in my books. And then on this side, I just made a pretty little tag. Take you away. You know, I like to make my books to take people away, forget about what they're thinking about, and just have fun. You know, get lost in the beauty of the trims and the ribbons and whatnot. This is another tuck spot here with some more pretty papers. Beautiful three-dimensional flower here. And then as you turn this page, I have a standard size 5x7 envelope. I've went ahead and embossed the envelope with a rose pattern, and then decorated it with a pretty Anna Griffin rose. And inside started you with a little vintage wallpaper insert here. And this will hold pictures, receipts, little notes and things. And I like to add these envelopes for extra storage. And behind the envelope, another thing I like to do is make it a pocket. And so you've got a pretty little insert tucked behind, and you can journal or add pictures to that. Here's the other side of that vellum that I've embossed with the Swiss dot pattern, and it just holds some more pretty papers, a vintage perfume label, a beautiful reprint, a gorgeous embossed piece of ivory cardstock here. This would be a gorgeous place to add a photo, but you could also just keep it plain and enjoy how pretty the pattern is. And then on the other side is a little belly band of a doily that's been scanned. I've got some pretty washi on here, and then I've given you a couple of decorated tags. Another place to do journaling or photo. This has a fun dress form that I've decorated, and then on the bottom some more little charms. I've got this sweet little dainty hanger. I don't know if you can, again, my chubby little hands. You can see it's so sweet. I love these little charms. And then a tiny little handmade. And then I've stitched more ribbons and trims up here for texture and fun. And then on the other side, another envelope filled with inserts, and I've lined this one and also gave you a pocket on the back, and it holds some more fun little tags. And of course these have ribbons, so you can easily pull them out to journal and read, or you want to add pictures to. They're easy to get to that way. I have a beautiful fan here, another pretty little stationery stop. You want to just jot down some quiet notes, maybe a memory. This would be a pretty place to do it. And I've embossed with my script embossing folder. I just love that texture of the script. And then I've got a lot of fun, I've got a lot of fun ribbons and things on here as decoration. Moving right along, a pretty little, this is actually in my stash. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous hand embroidered handkerchief, and I've scanned it and printed it. I absolutely love it, and I love that I'm able to incorporate it as paper in my journals. It's just beautiful. So I've given you that, and then a little quiet place to journal. Maybe add a picture on this pretty cardstock tag. Of course, some perfume labels are throughout this book. Another little tuck spot here that I've had some fun with my pretty star tool. And then my vintage craft trims, from the 60s that I just love. These calico patterns, they're just so gorgeous. I just love them. And so I've got quite a few of them going on here. And then again, more of that rescued sketchbook paper. I think this was charcoal paper. And it's really smooth, it's really beautiful. I think pencil on this paper would be really nice. It's fairly delicate. But it's just really smooth and beautiful. So I've incorporated that, and of course some vintage wallpaper. And then a new addition to my book for these journals that I'm just repurposing and reusing and giving new life to, rescuing, is this sewing pattern book from the 60s at least, or 70s. You can tell by the age of the paper. And this has the measurements of the young girls. I love those silhouettes. They're just so sweet and fun. So I've incorporated this, and will add more of these pages in my books coming up. I just think they're so feminine and pretty, and you know, women really not too many of us make our clothes anymore, but years ago, I mean, my mom made all my clothes when I was a little girl. I had dresses, and I mean, she made everything. She made my father's work shirts. Now, she was an amazing artist, seamstress, designer. I mean, my mom was incredible. And you can read about them in my Etsy shop, in my info. However, I just think incorporating these papers is important and beautiful. Anyway, moving along, here's another little tuck spot with some tags. I've got this pretty little 3-dimensional dress up here for fun. Pretty little teacup. And again, adding the pockets, papers, tags for you to journal in this book, to have some fun. And speaking of fun, this side, I have a little flip up here, and you can see all the trims and stuff on this book. But when you flip this up, it actually has that little image. It says happy. And I thought this was a fun little place to add a picture of maybe you and a friend, or you and your daughter or son, a husband. Just, it's a fun little secret spot, and it's covered by the fabric. And I just think that's super fun. It says forever here. And then again, I just love this trim here. So there we go. Moving right along, some more places to stop and journal, write about pictures, tuck spots. I've got more ruffle trim, another beautiful flocked velvet leaf here. Labels and things. This is a thank you card that I've repurposed into a little place to stop, maybe brew a cup of tea and write about a memory or something that you want to record. Again, maybe you're handing this book down and you have a specific memory. This would be a really pretty place to do it. And then I've made it into a pocket, so if you wanted to add pictures, etc., you've got a tuck spot behind the card here to add. So I just think that's fun. I did have a lot of fun with the pockets and tuck spots in this book. And then here is some gorgeous pleated accordion trims from my stash, just to make it that much more frilly and feminine. I don't know if you can see how these just sparkle like crazy. They're really fun, these charms. Anyway, moving along to the other side, and again, another pretty little tuck spot holding some tags, some reprints, another little flip over, pretty little golden tag, a vintage clock face. My French cookbook here that I love to use. Sorry, I'm not in focus. Beautiful recipe for a souffle. This is from my vegetarian French cookbook. And then a dictionary page here, and this just has a pretty embossed ivory tag, ready for a picture. Or you can cut and paste on this side and leave the front plain. Just fun ideas for you to do there. And then more of the pleated trim here. And then I had some fun with the blue, the color blue. I just love this little burst of aqua, these beautiful papers together, a little teacup. And then this is actually fabric that I have scanned. I just love it. Of course, journaling space on the back. And it's actually a little tuck spot here, and I've sewn across the bottom to give it, you know, durability. And then I've added these stamps and had some fun. There's my star tool, my star tool. I'm just having some fun with my trims and vintage laces and things here. This is a nice quiet place to stop and do some journaling. This is a quiet little flip. It says never give up at the top, and I was just having fun with my scraps. Another place to stop and journal. This is more rescued paper from the pile of vintage sketchbooks and things that I recently rescued, and then some really fun trims. my vintage craft trims from the 60s. Moving right along, this page is Victorian in thought. And it just has a belly band, some ruffle trim, this gorgeous little doily that I've added some vintage embroidery to. And it's a place to just stop and journal. This is a little tuck spot. You've got papers in the pocket, and this is a full page pocket here, so you can add stuff to. Beautiful place to stop and journal here. This is the other side of the sewing book. I got a little tiny baby tag here just for fun. And then as you turn it, you can see more of the silhouettes and the measurements. I remember as a young girl trying to make clothing, but I was not very good at it. Yeah, no, it's not something I'm giving up on. It's just I don't have the time, but I would love to make my own clothes. Yeah, I love that whole idea. Anyway, more of this beautiful rescued sketch paper here, holding another place to journal, some vintage fabric on the end of this pretty piece of paper, some more French script, some reprints, some beautiful golden trim. Now this these tabs, you see them all along this book, actually hold the book back while you journal. I will incorporate some decorated clothespins for you, and that way you can journal without these coming forward. So that's why we have some length on the tabs here, and that's just to make journaling easy for you. On this side, I have some beautiful reprints. I have a little feather here, some more golden trims, some stitching, another pretty leaf. This one isn't flocked, but it's just a pretty pink satin. It says Destiny, and more of that. This is beautiful Anna Griffin paper here. Another beautiful place to do a layout with photos. You can certainly journal on this paper, or just enjoy the beauty of the embossing. And then this is the end, the back page. I have this beautiful pocket that I've die cut, and then I backed it with glitter paper, so it's really sparkly. Not sure if the camera, yeah. This phone has a really good camera, so I'm hoping all these little details are being picked up. And it holds just this super pretty bird reprint and beautiful paper here. You can add a label to this page and label it. You can decorate it further if you have things that you have collected over the years. You know, maybe an earring that you don't want to throw away. You could clip it on anywhere. I love the idea of just holding on to little memories like that. Here's some more embossed ivory cards to have fun with. And that concludes the inside. And then on the back cover, again, it has the modern wallpaper that I've stenciled and collaged. I've added just some beautiful trims, and on the spine as well, I've added this beautiful embroidery for decorative purposes. I just think that looks really, really pretty, and also holds the stitching in place. I've got little jewelry pieces, some pretty delicate laces here. And you can see all of the trims and tabs in this book. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a long one, and if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and feel free to leave them below. I'm going to tie this so you can see how it looks closed. It's very sturdy. I love the fact that you can close it and hold everything in place. Again, the sparkly charms I'm hoping that you can see all of the fun. And you can add more. You see all these links here. You can add as you go. Maybe earrings that you have that you don't wear but you love. That sort of thing. So anyway, yeah, so leave a comment below if you have any questions or comments. I would love to hear from you. You can subscribe. I will be posting some more books coming up. If you're interested in those, you will get notified. And that's it. Just thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.